ask the audience whether there are any questions that any of you have for either of our presenters.
For the second presenter, I was just wondering if you could give examples of how you tailored your program to females, like how would it be different if it were males that you're reading? And just the second question, which is, how do you quantify anger and aggression? Is it a survey, or how do you get numbers of people?
So we tailored the treatment for females by incorporating techniques and skills that were targeting relationally aggressive behaviors, and this was missing from all the treatments that were designed for males. So males focused on physical aggression and not really the social kind of aggression that we saw on females. And then anger is what you would ask about?
Yeah, how do you quantify anger and aggression?
Yeah, we used a number of different measures that actually got at and measured anger and different aspects of anger. So we had several measures, and if you wanted the names, I don't have them off the top of my head, but I can.
I was just curious what the method, like, is it a survey, like, do you ask questions, how do you feel, or?
It's a survey that has we had two separate measures that I'm thinking of in particular that we administered to the girls and they filled out, and then it's a standardized measure, so it comes up with a score, and then we can compare for levels where they're at.
Thanks.
One question. I'm assuming that the aggression is actually being simulated because of certain conditions or certain environment. So in that particular study that do you simulate that exact condition to compare the responses pre-test and post-test, or is the conditions different?
In terms of?
Like you said, like social, it's basically social aggression, right? So it's certain environments that make them behave in such kind of situation, behavior. So do you replicate that kind of conditions in the program?
So the program is implemented in juvenile justice facilities. So it's within that context that we're working. So there are high levels of relational aggression going on there. And we are working within the system. So that's why we're comparing to the treatment as usual, which is already going on there. And then what our treatment is added on top of what they're already getting. So we had a number of different groups. This wasn't just 28 girls all at once. We had several groups of 4 to 6 girls in the treatment over a span of a couple of years that we got this data from.
Questions? More general, maybe for each of you. How did you get into this work that you're doing now? How does it relate to your life or your interests, or what it is that you want to do?
So I've always had an interest in substance use, particularly with youth, and given that we're both in a lab that specializes in justice-involved youth issues, this is, like I said in my presentation, there's a very high number of youth entering the system annually with substance use problems. And given the recent publication of DSM-5, I think that it's hopefully going to open up doors for more research, and I'd like to be a part of it to kind of explore how this criteria is mapping onto youth and its implications for improving treatments and improving even the flow of youth in and out of the system as well. So I've always had a long interest in it, and now I finally get to address it.
So for me, I went to Drexel for undergrad, so I've been here a very long time, and I started off very long. I started off as a psychology major, and then I added criminal justice as a second major later, and I found that the two had a lot of overlap, and that was something I wanted to pursue. So I was really interested in forensic psychology and how psychology applied to law, which is how I ended up in the JD PhD program. So my interests over the years have kind of developed a little further, and I'm really interested in treatment within both the juvenile and the criminal justice system, as well as how psychological assessment is done and how psychology can better inform the law. So that's kind of how I got to where I am now.
I have a question for the first presenter. As marijuana becomes less illegal across the country, how do you think that will affect studies? Because it will probably result in less punishment for underage kids, and then also they would be less likely to be in the juvenile
point you bring up, especially with the legalization of marijuana across many jurisdictions. So a lot of these youth that are coming in with substance abuse problems, many of them aren't coming in due to substance use. A lot of them are traumatized, and this is a response to trauma, and it's almost like ancillary to other offenses that are bringing them in. But with the legalization of marijuana, I'm wondering if drug offenses, which are very high among these kids, dealing, selling, and whatnot, if that's going to have a profound impact on that type of offense that's bringing kids in.
Lindsey, you mentioned at the very beginning that the incidence of anger and aggression amongst female juveniles has skyrocketed, right? What accounts for that? Is it because they're being studied more, or is it because of societal factors?
So it's actually, what skyrocketed is the rate of females entering the juvenile justice system. So there are more and more girls in the system than there have ever been. And there's a couple different hypotheses as to why this is happening. And part of it is maybe police aren't being as, they're not using deference like they had before. So maybe before they had some preconception like, oh, you're a girl, I'll just take you home to your parents, they'll handle this. Whereas now, girls are just ending up in the system. And there's just more of a push like, okay, this is a delinquent kid, this is where they belong. So we've seen girls entering more and more often. And then once they're there, we're measuring anger and aggression, finding that they are actually high among this population.
Well, just kind of jumping off of that, I guess is this somewhat correlated with similar trends in non-drug related crimes for females? So there are more of them